good afternoon, everyone, and respected classes. Our microwork idea is article digitization. It's basically a system in which a digitization occurs, and the digitizations are the digitizing content will be the articles from the newspapers, which are important. We just take the photograph of that and we send it to the microworker after splitting it into different chunks, and the microworker will do a small chunk of the work, digitize it, and send it back to the system, and the system pays after modulating it and validating it. So next section. Okay, previous please. Previous. Yes, my name is Razul Marzan and my brother is Aman Marzan. I solely work on the iOS application development, and my brother worked on developing the web service, REST API, and database part. Next, please. The working overview of my system is that the server will analyze the image, process it, and split into chunks, as I already stated. After that, the chunks will be sent to the microworkers, who via the mobile phones, who will convert the image into textual form from mobile application and send it back to the server. And the server will process the submitted result, validate it, and pay the worker, and finally generate a complete set of information from those chunks. Next. The mobile platform currently we have created is an iOS application, and later we are planning to do for Android, BlackBerry, and Symbian using mobile web technology as well. Next. Technologies for the server side, we used a web service, REST API using Slim framework, and PHP 5.3, and Adobe Dreamweaver, MySQL for database. And for client side, I created iOS app using iOS 5.1 and Xcode IDE 4.4. Next. So for the project management system, we used version management Git, and the code is hosted on the Bitbucket repository. And the task management we completed using asana.com. It's a project management tool, online project management tool, which will help you to list all the tasks to do list, and you will do it. Next. So the target client for our system are the newspaper generally. After doing some research, I come to know that the Himalayan Times uses pressmart.com for its content digitization. They send the Himalayan Times content to the Pressmart, and they send digital information back to them. So they can be our targeted client if we start our system. Similarly, the newspaper publishers who wants their contents digitized, and basically the libraries of Nepal who have their important information such as old information. Next. Okay, the targeted microworkers are people who have basic reading writing skills and have the mobile smartphone user. Next. Let's demo me a little project over here in a simulator. So this is our page, and this is our login page. Once we have used a mobile number so that in future we can track the fraud people who can do fraud things. With the mobile name we can track detect. That's why we use the mobile number as its name. After we log in, we will see all these in articles. These are the small pieces of chunks. We have this chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3. So once the user click, he will be asked whether he wants to accept it or decline the word, like in enter. If he accept it, the tasks get locked so that no one other people will get the task, and the user can now type here everything that he sees, and finally he can send submit. Once the task is submitted, he will roll back and he can do another task. Now these tasks are on the server, and he is not yet paid, but he has a pending balance of 5. This is once the moderator validated that the tax is okay and alright, he will just the payment will be released, and he can view his transaction history over here. So this is just a small thing, and yeah, that's it, and you can log out of the system. We have used the local server for here. So this is the demo. And finally, we are going to open source our project. Both iOS app and web service code are completed and will be open sourced tomorrow because some commits are still remained to be pushed. So it will remain, and the repository we have is for iOS app, and the URL is given below, and for web service, the URL is given below. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajan. Now we have 2 minutes for the judges to ask questions. Anand seems to be very happy. Question.
So, what is the motivation? What is the motivation behind having this project?
Actually, I would like to I would like to say that Cloud Factory is my motivation because I have worked with Mark for a few years back because we were in the same company. So the all motivation and all the idea that I have learned, I was always wanted to do for the mobile platform, and that was my passion. And I have learned a lot of things from Cloud Factory, so that was my motivation. And I have thought it for about more than 4 or 5 months ago. It was on my mind, and this hackathon led me to convert my ideas with my brother selves into a real product.
Tell us a little more about how do you split the task? What mechanism do you
How do you split it?
So what algorithm do you use?
Yeah. Okay. Normally we have for hackathon purpose we have done it manually. We have because this part is done on the server side and it's not a micro worker related. Micro worker just need to do work. So we have split it all manually. But later on we can create a system in which we can use different frameworks, and we need to do a little research for that maybe. But yeah, we have planned for that, and that's not a difficult task. We have an OCR. Yeah, I think there is a quality control also in future enhancement. How does that skip? For the quality control, we are going to do OCR implementation so that the OCR will generate some result and AI and machine learning for the future product. But as our sir asked that how you split the images, that will be done manually for now, but later we can create a system for that too. We have different APIs for that.
This will be the final question.
This is only for text, right?
Yeah.
So it does not do anything with the visual.
Visual?
Say normally newspapers, if there's any article, there's always a photograph or something linked up.
Yeah, it's
so tomorrow, how will that happen?
Yeah, it's only focused for the digital content that is written, text.
That's text.
Yeah.
And most of the time nowadays you have newspapers. If you're targeting, I only heard newspapers right now and a little bit of library later on. But most of the newspapers now already are into digitization.
Yeah.
Which means you'll only get, if you get work, will be for old issues.
Yeah, I just researched about this and I just posted question on the Entrepreneur First Nepal, and as I already said that the Himalayan Times uses pressmark.com for digitizing their content. Actually, we see all the information that are already digitized, but nobody knows who digitized that. So maybe we can digitize that because they use this Pressmark, and that is not Nepali company; they are outside the company, and so that's the thing.
Thank you, Rajan and team. Let's give our judges 1 minute time.